Hey friends, if you want to know how to make a Thanksgiving centerpiece, please come join me. I'm on 2 platforms, so I'm probably looking funky in one or the other. But what I'm trying to do today, and I'll show you how I'm going to do this, is to make this rather large Thanksgiving centerpiece. As you can see, I've already got some things added in. I've made a bow. You put that in, and these pheasant feathers, or whatever feathers they are in also. They're glued in. And I'll show you what else I'm going to do. But first, let me show you how I started. The way I started was to get a tile. This is a floor tile from Home Depot. And I put the gaps and cracks. If you're a crafter, you know how to do that. That insulated foam, sprayed that on there so I could stick things in there. And I also covered the back, although it's smooth, of the tiles with felt, just so that it will not damage somebody's table. So that's how I started. That's what the base of this big one you just saw is. And if you're just coming on, come join me. I have to look funny to read the comments. Let's see if I can turn my other iPad on, find myself, and maybe that way I won't have to look so weird and turn my head over and over again to read comments if there are any. Let's see. Welcome, Cookie, and anybody else who wants to join, please come on in. Okay, yay for me. I do have to turn it down though. I did find them. Okay, good deal. So, I'm going to have to turn this way. Okay, so let me tell you what else I got going on here. Okay, so I made a couple of these pumpkins. These are just velvet pumpkins. You can get them practically anywhere. I did add a little bit of glam to them. You know, I just like to bling things out a little bit. That's kind of my style. So I added a little glam to them. Put skewer in the bottom, glued in the bottom so that I can stick them in here. And I've got 2 of these. I'm going to add some of these orange flowers. Not very many because I only have 2. And one's already stuck in here, so I'm just going to put this other one in here. You can see that I do have one of those pick machines, and these really make things a lot easier. They're kind of pricey, but if you can get your hands on one, they do make things a lot simpler, you know, to put in to this foam, because it's penetrable, but it's a little stiff. I've got some of these leaves. They're different sizes. Some of these, they're kind of different. They're sparkly, if you can see the sparkle, and they're not metal, but I don't know what the heck they are. They're not exactly either one, so metal or otherwise. But I've got 3 different sizes of those, and I did take a hydrangea bush that I think was from Hobby Lobby or somewhere like that, and then put picks in. I'm going to put those in as well. And I think that's about it. Let's see if I can see if there are any comments. Okay, I'm frozen on one thing, so what the heck. Okay, if you have any questions or any comments, please let me know. Glad to have you in here. My name, by the way, is Sharon. My business is Maggie Belle Posh. I sell home decor items like wreaths and centerpieces and swags and that sort of thing. So let's get going. And I'm going to put you down a little bit. Okay. Yeah, good deal. That way you can see that a whole lot better of what I'm doing. Okay. So, first of all, like I said, I've already got one of these flower bundles in here. This is part of what we call the 60919. It was made very well famous a few years ago in the wreath community because everybody loved it. It comes in different colors. It has a great mixture of different stuff on it, so you don't have to go about putting everything on here yourself. Now, since I only have 2, I wish I had more, but I only have 2. I put one on this side, and I'm going to match it on this side over here. And because my goal is to make this centerpiece more or less the same on both sides so it can be viewed from either side. And so I'm going to put a little glue on this one, and stick it in here. Okay, and it kind of matches. It's kind of opposite from the other one. One of the little things I have on here I didn't show you, I've just tied these in with the tines. This, by the way, is a garland that I cut up and U-pinned, if you know what those are, to the base, the foam base. But I've got a couple of these, one on either side, so they kind of match up. They're kind of over here, like the pheasant feathers kind of match up as well. Okay, now I'm going to put in the pumpkins the same way. Again, there are only 2 of them, so I'm just going to make them kind of opposite each other. And for this, I think I'm going to use the glue gun. By the way, I am in North Texas. My heart goes out to those in South Texas who are receiving now the brunt of this hurricane. That is problematic on the shore. We're about 400 miles north, so I don't have to worry about that. We're just getting a little bit of wind and a lot of rain. If you've ever been in hurricane rain, it kind of comes in waves, it seems like. And we're kind of on the dirty side with the right side of that hurricane, so you do get a lot of the worst part of the hurricane, sometimes worse than even the eye. So, hey, Tricia, I'm so glad to see you in here. Tricia's a wonderful designer from one of my neighboring states. If you have a chance, give her a follow. She does lots of great things, beautiful things. Okay, I'm going to add in some more glue on this one and try to make it about just like that other one over there. About equidistant, so it looks very similar. I can cover up these sticks. These sticks are awful long because they kind of have to be to get down into this foam down in here, but I'll be able to cover those up pretty well. Okay, I got that one in there. You can kind of see what I've done here. I can cover those up with the tines of the garland as time goes on. So, now I'm going to put the leaves in. I think I counted these, and I'm counting simply because, I'll get down here, counting because I wanted, like I said, make it equidistant. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. Okay, so we got 12 of the little ones, but of the larger ones, the largest ones, I've got 10, and these are the largest ones. So I'm just going to try to space them out a little bit. Patricia, if you're still on here, are you getting lots of rain down there where you are? Yeah, the feathers I do love too. We have a supply place here that's kind of unique. It's kind of family owned, but they have some pretty things like the famous Craftex in Texas does. And so I got a bunch of these feathers from them. They have real pretty stuff from some of the well-known suppliers. Okay, these are the larger leaves, and what did I say? I've got 2, 3, 4, and of course, what did I say now? Let's see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these. Okay, that looks like maybe 8, 9, 10. Okay, so let's go. I'm just going to try to put them down around, somewhere around. Okay. Yeah, we are praying for our friends everywhere down there that are suffering with this hurricane. Okay. Well, I'll put these kind of low because the larger ones I'm going to put, or the smaller ones rather, I'm going to put kind of on top, because you can't see them as well. Of course, obviously being a little bit smaller. So I'm going to one side. I wish I had an overhead camera. Trust me, I do, but I don't have an overhead camera, so sorry about that. I can't exactly show you, but I'm just putting here and here. Now this one's kind of a shorty, so I'm probably going to have to put him somewhere pretty close in the middle here. He's kind of a short little fella. They're little different colors. Some of them are bronzy, some of them are more gold. And I surely don't want to get this glue all over these feathers to have to get out. But this one looks like it's stringing a little bit. I may have to do that. I know for somebody who doesn't do this all the time, you're probably thinking, what the heck, Thanksgiving, that's so darn early. But really, you know, if you do these things, if you design these things and then you have them for someone to buy, you obviously have to go a little bit early because people, you know, begin to buy in Thanksgiving sometimes in September. So it's July now, so we got to get going. Okay. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, after I get these more or less equidistant around, I'll just go back and see if I need to add any more or any less. Sometimes it's hard with all this garland to see where the heck the end is. Like right now, I'm just running up against that pumpkin. Okay. And these things can be nicely shaped. They're bendable, so you can shape them real easily, which is a good thing. It's very nice to have. I don't even know where I got these from. I wish I did. I'd love to have some more. But I don't know where they came from. I don't remember. So much of the time, I do, when I buy things, obviously I try to keep the price down and price it out because I want to price fairly for customers. You know, charge them fairly for the materials that are used. But sometimes, if it's something like this, this may probably, I think probably it was a garland. So I just cut it up, and that way, you know, you don't know what it costs. You can't remember at that point in time. So anyway, let's see what we can do. We'll just have to try to guesstimate, I guess, about that when the time comes. I'm not sure I'm going to use all these leaves. It's quite a lot of leaves, but I might not. We'll see. We'll see how it looks. That's the thing about designing these things. You kind of just have to play as you go because you don't know what's going to look good, what's not. Okay, it appears that I have one left, so I've got about 4 on this side, about 3. Probably need to pull this one over here. We'll probably leave it go at that. I'll save this one last one for something else. Okay. All right, now, what I think I'm going to do now is I'm going to, and this bow, by the way, has not been fluffed out, and the tails are very long, but I left it that way on purpose. I just roll them up when I'm gluing them around them, so hopefully you don't get glue on these things, and I'll trim them up last when I see how long they really need to be and make them a little bit extra long. Okay, now I think I've got some medium-sized ones. And I've got about 7 of these, so let's just see where we can put these. Like I said, we may not use all these leaves. In fact, I think before I put any medium ones in, I'm going to go with some flowers. And this is the cut up hydrangea. And I'm going to put some glue on the end of this. I may end up, though, because these are pretty short, I may end up actually kind of tie these in with the pine tines. Just kind of fill in where you might need something. Okay. These are the coppery brown colors, all ready for fall. Even though it's usually blazing hot outside, it's not right now. Today is very mild because of the rain we're getting from the hurricane. And so it's kind of a mild day today, but usually we got a lot of heat going on around here. Sometimes call this area, maybe I shouldn't say it, but sometimes call it Satan's breath because it's that hot. It's just about that hot. Okay, I think I'm going to put some over here. See how it looks. I wish I had an overhead camera. That would be very nice, but I don't have. Even though I have a rod sticking up here, I don't really have a way to actually suspend a camera. Haven't figured that one out yet. And usually I make wreaths, so it's not much of a problem because I can just put it on the wreath stand and, you know, it can easily be seen. But today, I wanted to do something a little bit different. One of the things I do before I send something out when it sells is do the tug test on all this stuff. Oops, I'm about to get a feather into the glue pot. We don't want to do that. Do the tug test to be sure that, you know, things are going to stay in there like they should. And if they're not in there good, then I re-glue them. Pick up all these glue strings because they're kind of inevitable. And I'm toying with the idea of some greenery in here. I just don't have very much available. That's the problem. All I've got that looks fall to me is this, and it really only has about 7 pieces on it, which is not a lot. I guess I could go under. We'll see how it looks at the end. Let's add some more sparkle though. A little more sparkle. Let's add in some of these medium-sized leaves. We may be getting too much of a good thing with all these leaves on here. And we'll try to mix the copper and the gold a little bit more than has been. You know what? I think I'm going to go with the smaller leaves. These are too close to the same size as the ones I just put in, and you need a little variation. So let's go with the smaller ones. Let's see what we can do there. I'm just going to put them in for now just to see if I like them before I glue them. It's like I said, I may be getting too much of a good sparkly thing here. It might be a little too blingy. Might need some variation. Let's see. And I'll go back and glue them a little bit later. But this is the name of the game. You gotta just get started and try and see what happens. See how it goes. Sometimes it goes well, sometimes it doesn't. Then you have to start over. Okay, I do think I'm liking the leaves, but then, you know, I like a lot of bling. Okay, so we got 2 and 2, and like I said, I'm still trying to make it kind of the same on all sides so that it'll look the same from any way you look at it. Okay, got one over there, so I'm going to put one about over here. So tell me if anybody on here besides Patricia. I know she's a wonderful wreath maker. Oh, hey, Sherelle. How you doing? Yeah, she is too. She makes beautiful, beautiful stuff. Let's see. Your business is Crafty Pants, I believe. You can put it in here if you'd like, because I may have it wrong, but she makes gorgeous stuff too. And I think you're in the Georgia area, if I'm not mistaken, Shirley. But I'm so glad to see you today. You make such pretty things. I'm always looking at them and loving what you do. And I think you just hit like 10,000 followers or something like that. Girl, you're getting big time, big time. I'm glad I know you. We met, I believe, last year at Craftex. Well, no, let's see, was that 23? Yeah, that would be last year. It's 2024. Okay, so it'd be last year. We met at Craftex and had a very pleasant conversation. And of course, such fun. That place down in Houston is such fun. So we always love it. So let's see. I've got still more, but maybe that's enough blingy stuff. What do you think? Oh, thank you so much for sprinkling. Yeah, Crafty Pants, yes. And she just does make such pretty stuff. But yeah, thank you for sprinkling. So Sherelle, what do you think? Should I be adding some greenery to this? Like I said, I've really only got 7 pieces of this. It's the only thing I could find that looked like fall. And I didn't really want to take the time to order something. I've got a lot of supplies. I really need to be using what I have, and that's what I'm going to try to do. Because like everybody else, I've probably got too many supplies. I'll have to try I'll have to try at some point to de-stash some of it. If, when you finally realize, well, maybe I'm probably not going to use that. That's not my style. Maybe it's somebody else's style. So I'll just put it out there and see if somebody else can use it. So I'm just going to stick a few of these in here and just see if I like the look or not. I have a lot of winter greenery and a lot of stuff like that, but I just don't have that much fall greenery. And I probably should have done a better job of planning ahead and getting some. So let's see if we like this. Or if we don't. That's why I'm not going to glue it. I'm just going to kind of stick it in here the way it might be good to put it and just see if I like a little greenery. Usually that elevates the wreath an awful lot to, not wreath, you can see I make wreaths most of the time. It elevates the arrangement to have the greenery in there. But I don't know that this is going to be all that great. It's usually background stuff, but I'm putting it in a little bit late. Okay, you say, Cheryl, add some greenery. Okay, we'll just do that. And I do think it does make it look a little better. Look, it's a lot fuller. Okay, let me see if I got it kind of going around that way. Since I only have 7, one little bush, I thought I could find more upstairs. I keep all my stuff upstairs in a wonderful big walk-in attic because that's the place I have. Here in the South, we don't have basements like some folks do, so we can't really have a wonderful studio in a basement. I wish I could, but I can't. So I keep mine in a walk-in attic, the supplies. And I'm fortunate to have that. If it had to be one of those attics where you have to crawl up the ladder and do all that kind of stuff, well, that probably is never going to happen. I'm not going to keep stuff up there because I'm not going to be risking my life on the stairs. I ain't got time for that. Don't want any accidents. Okay, got one extra piece, but you know what? It looks kind of equidistant. We'll see if we can add that later on. If we want to add a little bit of that later on. Okay, so let me lift it up so maybe it can be seen a little better. I'm recording on 2 platforms here, so hopefully that can be seen. I'm getting messages on one of these, so I can't really see myself. But what do you think? You think that's enough? Should I add more bling? We got more bling. We can always add more bling. I don't know. It's pretty big. And I'll show you the base. This is the way it started out. That is a tile, as I said, from Home Depot. Let's see, how big is that tile? The tile itself is like maybe 16 inches. But of course this whole thing, because of the pheasant feathers, is, oh mercy, it's probably about 36. So it's a big one, but I kind of like it. It kind of looks sparkly to me. Thank you, Sorrel. I'm so glad you like it. I know your stuff is very lush and full and very beautiful. So I'm glad you like it. It's a compliment to me. I hope you're coming to Wreath Makers Live in 2025. You know, I bought my ticket to that in 2023 because I was so excited about going. I went to the one in 2021, 2023, and I'm happy to go in 2025, you know, if the creek don't rise and I'm still here and all that stuff. So I'll be seeing you there, I hope, if not sooner. But I have a few more of these. I may put them in just because I have more. Why not? I'm not going to use them for anything else. Okay, I'm putting them in here and wherever. The nice thing about this colored garland is it's sparkly in itself. I don't have to cover it up. If I had used an evergreen, I would want to cover it up a little bit more. But I don't have to because it's pretty full. But let's see, I think I need something out here. But this is the fun part when you just get to add, and I will go back and glue all this. I'm not gluing it right now. But I did, the inspiration for this, by the way, is this ribbon right here. I bought this at Wreath Makers Live in 23, and I had no idea what I was going to do with it. I just loved it, and so I got it. And I asked on one of the, I don't want to mention a platform, but I asked on one of the platforms which one would people prefer, this one or the more traditional one, which is this one, which is sparkly and also pretty. And almost to a person, everybody said this. I thought it was a little edgy, and it was maybe just me because I love the animal prints. But by golly, everybody else seemed to like it too. So I paired it with this and this other coppery ribbon, which is very pretty. I love it too. Of course, I love all ribbon. I don't discriminate. I love all ribbon. But this is the smaller one, the 1-inch one in the middle. And of course, the green one also has copper accents to it. Like so. Very coppery. But anyway, so you're going to Bam's Wreaths retreat this year? Oh, I would love to go. I would love, love, love to go because she is so special. Amy is. She has a wonderful group, and she's just kind of the queen of this community. But usually by the time I can get on there and try to buy a ticket, because they're all gone. I mean, it books up that fast. But I know how special her stuff is and how special her retreats are. One day, I'm going to go. I'm going to make it. The ribbons, this ribbon came from Trendy Tree, actually. If you recall it, Wreath Makers Live 23, they had a display there and sold a bunch of ribbon. So this came from Trendy Tree, as did the small one. Honestly, the one with the green in it, I don't recall where it came from. So, and I don't remember exactly where this other one that I didn't use, I ended up not using, came from either. It's an RG ribbon, but I don't know where it came from for sure. My ribbon stash at this point is pretty huge, like probably everybody else's. And I'm going to lift it up a little bit so I can be seen some. My ribbon stash is pretty huge, like everybody else's. So I forget. I don't label where they come from. I just label, the price. So again, I can price things fairly instead of, just guessing at what materials cost. I wanted to price it out fairly. So, I don't know. What do you think? Do we need anything else? Or is this pretty well blinged out and done? Like I said, I did a lot of prep work for it, you know, preparing the pumpkins, and I put a couple of the elements in and tried to think out the design. So it really didn't, I mean, it's really not as fast to make it as I just did, because I did an awful lot of prep work, as you probably know. Yeah, I always add price to my ribbon, because otherwise I just don't know, you know, how much to charge for it, really. Because as we all know who make these things, like the Ferrosilk ribbon is pretty expensive, and some of the other ribbon isn't. So I don't want to charge Ferrosilk prices for ribbon that isn't Ferrosilk. So I do put a little red sticker. I'll show you. I usually, and I should probably label where I get it from, because, you know, I might want to order some more someday, and I don't remember where it came from. But I put a little red sticker on there that tells me the price, usually for 10 yards. Now this thing happens to be 50, but it's usually a 10-yard roll. So I just put the price on there, whatever it was, and then I can calculate it out when it's time to price it out. So that's the way I do it. Does anybody have any questions at all? I'm doing sideways because I'm filming landscape. So many of the platforms now want you to go landscape. So to read comments, you're going like this, which is why I had my other iPad over here. But, oh yeah, now I can see the comments now that we're almost done, of course. Yeah, but anyway. So what do you think, Terrell? Am I done? I do have to, I'm going to dovetail this. I practiced dovetailed on it, like so. Because so many times when I dovetail a ribbon, it ravels. And so then I know I don't want to do that. I fold it under. But this one looks like it's going to be fine. So I'm going to dovetail this one and shape it out. I'm going to cut this a little shorter and probably just fold this one under. And same way with the other one, the small one, the one that's, what is it, 1 inch. And then just kind of put it out. And I think I'm going to be done. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it so much. Love you, girl. And I hope to see you soon. And I want to hear all about Amy's retreat. I know it's going to be wonderful. I think it's a Halloween theme this year, and it's going to be so much fun. So thanks for joining. And I hope sometime soon you'll come back, join Maggie Pell Posh Live. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you all. Okay, I'm going to have to find the X, so I'm going to have to turn to stop. Okay. Well, all right. Trying to stop the recording.